Sure, okay.
Hi everyone. We are going to start in a bit. Couple of minutes more. So Dave, I need to check with Astrolabs if they are recording this session. Hi everybody, welcome to Digital Shelf Management. I am Devsena and I'm going to be your host today. I work with Mfiltrate. So who are we? We are a fraud detection expert, and we also have a bunch of other services that we do. Our specialization, however, lies in ad fraud detection, and we enable digital marketers with a bunch of solutions that helps them perform their day-to-day activity and make sure they are optimizing. Uh, just 1 second. I think we are going to be recording this session, so you will be getting an email and also on the YouTube channel. So if that answers Dave's question. Okay, so in this region, we are working with some of the largest advertisers. We are working with Amazon, Noon, Landmark, Virgin Mobile, Stars Play. In India, we are working with all the top e-commerce players, and we also work with Unilever in Indonesia. And everything that we discussed today, we are going to do it with an example of Unilever Indonesia, so you guys get an understanding of what is digital shelf management in its totality. These are our portfolio services. There is Mfiltrate and then there is Mscanit, two different kinds of products. Mfiltrate completely works with ad fraud, which we discussed in a webinar sometime in June. And this time we are going to talk about the other section, which is the Mscanit bit, which talks about brand safety, incentive trackers and coupon trackers. But our main thing today is going to be business intelligence portfolio, which is e-commerce analytics, search ad analytics, and YouTube relevancy. We'll understand this in detail, one after the other. First, we will try and talk about what digital shelf management entails. Then we are going to go into what we are trying to do in the market. Is that something everybody's comfortable with? I hope so. Any questions that you have, please raise it on chat. And after every slide, I'm going to take up the chat and see if you have a question. I will try and answer it to the best of my ability. So when we talk about e-commerce, it's a very small word that encapsulates a lot of things. What we are going to look at today is only going to look at what it means to sell your product online, just selling. There are lots of things that goes on at the back end. There is procurement, quality check, analysis of content, everything. But forget that bit. We are only going to look at how to sell on a marketplace, let's say. These are the 5 pillars of e-commerce. One is discoverability, availability, visibility, execution compliance, and then performance. Let's start with discoverability. When you go on a site like Amazon and you say, let's search for shampoo, and you say shampoo and a bunch of shampoos come up. Now these shampoos are going to be targeted to your persona. What is a persona? It is basically who you are. If you are a 27-year-old female who shopped on Amazon for the last few years and you have been buying say, let's say Head and Shoulders, you will be targeted with something that you're more inclined to buy. If you are a male and then you are looking for something and let's say Axe have come up with a new shampoo, they are going to target you. So everything that you see is based on a recommendation engine that depends on your gender, on your age, on your demographics, and everything put together, you see a result. Now, if you are going to sell something, it's very important that you show up in those results. If you don't show up, nobody knows about you, so nobody buys you. So discoverability is going to only target about what in the results and how you come there. Now, there is a position and page analysis. What is position and page analysis? Let's say there are at least 25 different brands here that sells shampoo. If you go in a Carrefour, you will see a line of shampoos. Now, how do you make yourself visible? Digital shelf management, remember, is no different than a shelf management on a retail scope. When you enter a supermarket, there are few brands that will catch your eyes. The brand might have done an entire shelf for themselves. They might have designed a new thing. They might have somebody standing there pitching their products, but you can't do that online on marketplaces. So what do you do online? So you create those pages, you optimize those pages, you put in all the details and make sure that when people search, you are the first one there. Now, it's very important to be on the first page, because if you are not really looking for something, you don't really go to the second page. As a user, I don't remember the last time I went on a second page to search for something. Yeah, maybe I'm really looking for something and then I'm searching, probably. But if I am not, then in the first 10, whatever number of items is there on the first page, I kind of click and I'm there. Now, the next one is pricing and discount analysis. Now you see there are 2 different prices, as you all know. There is a price that, let's say, Carrefour buys this item. Then there is a price that they sell this item. And there is a margin that everybody plays with. Sometimes you will see, let's say, Head and Shoulders is for 28 somewhere, 24 somewhere else. So this difference is what they play with. Now, if you were selling similar kind of goods like everybody else is, you need to know what kind of price points they are selling at so that you can compete. Because if you are a user, which we all have done, if we are going to buy something, we will buy the thing that is 1 dirham lesser. Doesn't matter what it is. You will be inclined to click the same thing that is 1 dirham lesser somewhere else. Next is an SKU analysis. SKU is the full form of SKU is stock keeping units. This is a technical term that is used in inventory management. So let's say your Head and Shoulders comes in 550 ml, 100 ml, 200 ml, 400 ml, and maybe a liter. You need to know what sells maximum, where does it sell, and make sure that you keep your inventory running. Let's say in Dubai, wherein people have lesser space to stay in, the 100 ml sells very well. But the moment you look at, let's say, a little further away in Russell Kema, let's take it that, and say that they stay in big villas and they don't have a problem of space, they order 400 ml. So now when you are doing your inventory management, you need to know what goes where. You have to have more inventory of 100 ml in Dubai, more inventory of 400 ml in Russell Kema. Does it sound okay? Any question on discoverability till now? Then I will go to availability. No questions? Hassan, I might not be sharing all the slides. I think no, I don't think so. I'll be sharing all the slides. Okay, let's go to availability now. Let's say we have now done our all SKU analysis. We have the perfect page. Now a promotion goes live, and there is this huge board that says Head and Shoulders the best shampoo, and all over Dubai you see this ad. But somebody forgot to replenish all the stocks all across Dubai. What happens then? Now that is an availability issue. If you do not have the stock, how are you going to service people? Even if you are doing a large ad spend, that will not transform into sales. End of the day, sales is all that matters. So stock status is a very, very important thing to keep track of. Now, buy box tracking. There are few, when you are buying, say, Amazon delivery, you can track your item. You know where it is, you're awaiting delivery, it's here, it has been taken by the local delivery center, and that's very important. If that is not there, you do not know when it is going to come. They say it will be delivered from 3 to 8 days. Now, what is 3 to 8 days? Will it be delivered on the 3rd day, 4th day, on the 8th day? How about you are traveling after 2 days and you will not be able to take the item? So it's very important for users to know how to track. And therefore, you need to be in a place wherein when you're selling an item, your users can track it. Now, zip code wise stock status is something that we just spoke about, which is Dubai and Russell Kema. These are different zip codes. In this country, zip is not something that is looked at. It is more area wise. But if you're dealing with the same thing in another country where you have zip codes or pin codes, you need to know exactly where it is available. You have to talk to your distribution chain to make sure that if an item is sold more in a particular zip code, you need to make sure your item is present there. Yeah. For example, there's a lot of ads that goes on with this TikTok stars or Instagram influencer. Now, let's say there is this local influencer that the company is utilizing in their chain marketing, and she or he helps you sell more shampoo than anybody else. So you need to make sure that you have stock in that area so that happens. Now, seller-wise stock status is very important. When you go online, and if you are managing a bigger brand, you will have different sellers selling the same product. Let's take iPhone as an example. If you go online today, you will find at least 100, 150 sellers selling just iPhone, the same model. How do you know if the seller has got more number of units to sell? So what you do is you see which are your best sellers. Not every seller is selling the same number of phones. So you need to know, okay, this seller is selling a lot of my items. I might as well talk to him directly and make sure they have stock ready. Yeah. So that's about availability. Any questions here? Anybody? No? I'm going ahead then. The next one is visibility. Now, when you go on a portal, whether it's Noon, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Namshi, wherever you go, you will see there are certain banners right on top that kind of draws all your attention. It is what you see first time you come on the home page. Even if you search for a certain item, there might be banners even on your even on the search pages which will say let's say the new Xiaomi robo or a scooter, and it is flashing on your face. It makes you go inside. So these becomes very important: flash sales, promotion. So e-commerce is not just about promoting outside, it's also about getting some real estate space on the market itself. So when the user comes in, let's say your target market, your target product is a glass. Yeah, you need to make sure that your product is showcased in the crockery section, because that's where you want to be. You do not want to be on phone section. You are selling a glass, you need to be in the crockery section. So all those details and promotions are very important. Next is the media campaigns. So as you can see, everything is interrelated here. When I say about media campaigns, there was where I just told you that you need to maintain stock when you're running a campaign. Now, let's say I am running a campaign today. I have a huge budget. I'm going to launch something. Let's say I am launching, my mandate is to launch the Galaxy S20. My mandate is to get the maximum sales. So I need to make sure my media campaigns are synced with my flash sales and promotions, is synced with my stock status, is synced with the product listing, and is synced with the execution. I will come to that. Next is sponsored ads. When you browse through, you will see there are organic listing, which is you search and the marketplace gives you certain options. Then there is sponsored listing. Let's say I am selling something. I am selling this glass, which nobody has heard of. Let's say this glass, and nobody wants to buy this glass if they don't know anything about it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do a sponsored listing, and I'm going to come up on top of others so that I can gain some eyeballs. Yeah. Next is keywords word cloud. Now, when you're doing some listing, it is very important to understand what you're putting it. What will your users search for? Yeah. Now, if I'm iPhone, I don't have a problem. But let's say I am a Samsung A5. Not ads that you see all the time, but it's a very, very decent phone. Now, what should be my target keyword in this? Samsung, definitely, that is one keyword will be there. Now, how do we equate A5? Can we say low cost, budget friendly, great mobile, 20 pixels? These are all keywords. Now you need to make sure that your item has got all the keywords necessary for it to get a higher ranking. Is visibility clear? Any questions from anybody? Okay. Next is execution compliance. So when you try to sell something, it is very important that your products are compliant with your product details. So if I am selling a Galaxy A5, Samsung A5, I cannot have it confused with a J10 or something, or J7. Yeah. So it is very important to mention the exact things. It is important to have your keywords well placed. So what is a perfect page? If you go on a page and you see the product listing exactly how it should be, you see there are reviews, you see a product description, you see the highlighted things about the product, you see how heavy it is, or you see every specifications about the product, and it is very well given. Also, it should have good images of the product from every angle. If it gives you a video, all the better. It is very important to have a page that conveys everything that your salesperson would have stood in front of the shelf and spoken about. Your page is your representation to your client. Okay. Next is banner placement and rank analysis. Let's say I have different banners going on. Now I said there is an item that is giving you 200 ml extra. You will see certain at times that you are going to buy something, it says 200 ml extra. Now that promotions might not be true after say 2 months, but you see a banner still showing the same promotion, then that is not going to help, because when they go to buy, the item is not going to be available. So it's very important to maintain compliance. Now, counterfeit detection is a very, very important thing, especially if you deal with luxury goods. If you are in charge of selling luxury goods and you go and see a certain thing is going on for very cheap, that is an issue in itself. It not only downgrades your brand, it is also telling people that they can copy your brand and get away with it. So when you are present on a marketplace, you need to make sure that fake items are removed as much as possible. Now, product page content is all this put together. Everything that I spoke about, whether the imagery is there, the description is there, the keywords are there, the reviews are there, the questions are answered, all this put together comes to an A+ product page. If it is a product that is not if it is not an FMCG product, you will see the products that are doing well will have a very, very nice page. It will give you every detail that you can think of. If you like, go to AliExpress. You will see the products that AliExpress sends you by AliExpress Direct. They have so much information about the product, how to use it, how to assemble it, how does it look like. There's a video of people using it. It gives you every information possible. So that is what you should look to achieve. Yeah. Any questions on this? Nope. Either I'm doing a great job or you guys are not listening. I don't know which one it is. So yeah. Okay, I have a question from Kiran. What's the difference between Infiltrate and Edge? So Edge is one of the tools that a lot of people use. They do one thing very well, that is a perfect page analysis. What we also do is we help in multiple other things. Point number one. Point number two is we also look at apps, which Edge doesn't. Edge only looks at websites. We also give you the app part of it. And the other difference I can tell you is we are very good at ad fraud. So whatever we do in ad fraud can be very well pivoted into e-commerce kind of a structure. So if you want something that is customized for you, I can very well tell you Edge is not going to do that for you. Or if they do it, they're going to charge you a lot of money. Does that help? Okay. The last one is performance. We do, when we are buying a new product, we are very, we want to read what people are talking about. So review and ratings is not just on the site, but it is also what people are talking about in Quora, in Reddit, or any other place. If you are a e-commerce person, if your mandate is to get more sales for this new thing, you need to make sure the reviews, the ratings are at par at what your company wants to talk about. You need to see that you have a good PR going. The next very important thing on performance is seen and sold. Yeah. There are few e-commerce platforms that gives you the number of times a particular object or particular item has been seen. Some also gives you how many times this item has been sold. Let's say in booking.com, when you go to booking.com, they'll say this hotel has been booked 25 times in the last 1 hour or 2 hours. So that kind of keeps you engaged. So there's a lot of engagement things that the marketplaces do from time to time. So this is one very important thing. Now the bestseller report. If you go to Amazon right now and you look for a Samsung Galaxy, you would see that Samsung themselves is not the top seller. There might be another seller who is selling more units than Samsung themselves are. That is because they're doing all these things correctly. And there's a lot of learning there. You being Samsung might not be the only thing that is great. There might be other learning. Maybe this guy is bundling a Samsung with something else, giving something free. This guy might be getting some great reviews. This guy might be sending a mail after delivery saying that kindly review my product. Anything can happen. So making sure you see which is your best seller, understand what the best sellers are doing right. It's very important. And last is revenue estimate. When you talk about the performance, revenue estimates become very important. Products will be sold, they'll be sent back, and there will be a lot of to and fro here. So your estimations needs to be very clear on what you're trying to achieve and keep an eye on it. Okay, I have a question from Tunzi. Does a lack of review on a product detract from a perfect page, knowing that a very small number of users post reviews on your product page? So all these in itself is not something that is going to help you. It's a combination of all this that's going to help you. Let's say your reviews are not going to be helpful if your page is not properly optimized. If I'm not going to be able to find your page, it doesn't even make sense if I have a bunch of fake reviews. But yes, reviews does change things. For example, you must have read that they caught a lot of companies that were giving fake reviews on Amazon. That's because they cracked that algorithm to understand that if you have more reviews, there's a chance you rank higher. So it's like everything goes hand in hand. Not one thing is of paramount importance except for perfect page. The page bit is very, very important. The reviews bit, yes, important, but not just on marketplace. For example, if I am buying something today, I look at marketplace review much later. I bought an action cam. I wanted to buy GoPro, but I thought GoPro was expensive for that smaller camera, and there was something called Rolei, which is a UK company, and they make some amazing cameras, does exactly what GoPro does. And now I went on Google and I typed in Rolei, and I looked for their action cam, and I liked what I read. So it's not necessarily just on the marketplace. Yeah, is that clear, Tansi? Okay, so this is basically what I try to explain are the pillars. Now we are going to go in and see how the data actually looks like. Okay, one thing from Hassan. I noticed there's a lot of emphasis on competition on basis of price. Where does customer service come into place of competitive advantage and penetration strategy? Okay, competition on price is going to be there. We will always buy the cheapest best. And that is the mentality that Amazon has preached. And Amazon told us that, okay, you know what, if you're getting something in retail for 100, I'm going to give it to you for 80. Yeah, so price competition is not going anywhere. The next is competitive advantage. If you are sure that you communicated the competitive advantage, then people will buy your product. Now, competitive advantage is not something that you can communicate on a marketplace. So what that entails is how you promote. That's where the visibility becomes important. How you are promoting, what is your storyline, what are you telling your customers? So that's where marketing gets involved. Yeah. And penetration strategy, there is definitely a lot of strategizing that goes on, Hassan. For example, if I am to launch a cold cream today, I have to make sure I first of all launch it in a country where the cold season dominates. I need to understand that who are my competition. If I am competing against Procter & Gamble or Reckitt Benckiser or Unilever, I know I don't have the pockets. So what do? I go into a smaller section. I select my zip codes like that, and then I only target them. How do I target them? I might do a specific geo-based targeting with Google. I might do affiliate-based targeting. I might ask let's say an influencer who is good with that region or that area and market it through them. So those strategies are very different than what you do on e-commerce. These strategies are already made. E-commerce is how you execute those strategies. Does that answer your question, Hassan? Okay, now we are going to see some digital shelf analysis from Unilever Indonesia. Let's start with product listing. So in Indonesia, these are some of the sites: Tokopedia, Shopee, Lazada, and Bukalapak. These are some of the websites that's very, very well known. They are like the Amazons and Noons of Indonesia. And we did an understanding of shampoo and how they are ranked. Now, if you look at how things are ranking, you will see every website has got a different ranking for different products. Let's say you are a brand manager, you're a brand manager for Pantene, yeah, and you want to know how you're doing. And if you look at the Pantene data here, it's 19%, 17%, 25%, and then 17%. Now you want to understand why you are at 25% on Shopee and not up there for the others. You want to look at your data. If, let's say, if it is possible that the exact same pages are there, but there is a particular shopper, seller who is doing really well. So you want to talk to that seller, give them more products, ask them to promote it more, get them to do their own personal campaigns, try more campaigns on Shopee. So things like that. So product listing becomes a very, very important factor. Similarly, this is just an example that I'm giving you. You will see on the right, I have listed a different shampoos here, and we have shown what is listing how in which particular shopping site. Now, if you are a brand manager of any of these, you will want to look into all this information. Let's say I am a brand manager of Pantene and I want to increase my brand share from 25% to 35%. What is it that I need to do? What is it that I'm not doing? If there is something that my competition is doing well, how can I get that more? Yeah. How can I do a flash promo to get the listings go up? What if I might actually be selling 25%, but there's a possibility that I'm selling the 400 ml more than I'm selling the 100 ml. So by revenue wise, that actually makes sense, and all those information therefore starts coming out of it. These are about stock keeping units. So when I say Pantene anti-dandruff is a product. Then under that product, there will be various stock keeping units, 50 ml, 100 ml, 200 ml, 300 ml. These are all taken as an unique individual item when you are doing e-commerce analysis. This gives you an idea about how many mLs and what is the percentage present. Yeah. Now, if you look at this information, and you will see that in the 500 to 600 ml category, you have very little competition. But when you look at a 0 to 300 ml category, you see a lot of competition going on here. So it kind of gives you an idea what is being sold more. Where is the concentration? What is it that you need to target? Do you, if there are keywords that you need to target, if there are price points that you need to target, this analysis kind of gives you an idea where your competition lies, how you're doing against your competition. So rating, as I told you, as we saw in that slide, as I was telling you, it is important, it is not important. Based on algorithms. Different site gives different weightage to all these pillars. Those 5 things are your pillars. How much importance is given across every pillar is something that when you work with websites, you'll kind of get an idea. Like some places will give reviews a lot of importance, ratings a lot of importance, and some places will not give them any importance. That's a possibility. But because in Indonesia, all these sites were giving good importance to these. So this is kind of a rating analysis on what was happening for Dove. Dove was our product that we were analyzing for the client, but this is across. Now, if you see, the ratings are kind of very near to each other. So that kind of gives you an idea that, okay, even though ratings are there, my stocks are not shown more or less. What that means is, while rating is giving you some weightage, it is not the entire thing. Now, this is a seller market analysis. So here is, we have 2 different kinds of seller. One is the brand seller. The brand themselves are now selling on marketplaces. And then there is the other seller. So other sellers, they also sell stuff for you. Like I was telling you, there might be a better seller than the brand itself. So here, if you see, all the shopping sites mostly had sellers that were other than the brand. Yeah, and these sellers were selling more than the brands are selling in most places, except for when it comes to this side, Lazada, and when it comes to Tresemme and Dove, they were bigger seller, Pantene, Tresemme, and Dove. So they're doing something different in this particular website than they're doing anything anywhere else, and that for a brand manager, is very important to understand, okay, I am working in this capacity with this particular marketplace. So if there is a possibility I can work on the similar capacity with the other marketplace, maybe I can do better. Or let's say if it is Amazon and you are working with Amazon, but through Union Corp. If a Union Corp doesn't have a great relationship with you, then they're not going to promote your products. So let's say you need to go around, but you know what is it that you need to optimize in that business chain. Now this is a very important detail. So here you see there are sponsored ads. Whenever you go on any of these marketplaces, you are going to see a lot of sponsored ads. Now, what are the sponsored ads and who is it that is promoting so much? And you kind of get an idea, you get a sense of, okay, my competition is doing so much. Let's say I am this 3.2% on the left-hand corner. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm losing out on the entire game because everybody else is promoting so much. So I need to up my ante. And then I start doing more sponsored ads in these marketplaces. I take away some portions of my budget from elsewhere and I put it here just to see how you can optimize. As we spoke about the stock status, it is very important to know where it is in stock, where it is, what is out of stock. Now, let's say Zinc is going on a full-on ad across the country, but it is out of stock in 18% of the zip codes in a particular website. That is not going to help. 18% revenue might not sound much for us, but maybe for Zinc that is in a couple of $1 million, it is possible because these websites generate a lot of revenue for brands. Yeah. So that's where we are. I am open to questions and any questions that comes from you, and happy to answer. I did not go into a lot of details about all these portions because it doesn't make sense. It makes a webinar really boring. So I went on giving you examples. So if you have any questions, please feel free. I'm here to answer. Kiran says how Infiltrate captures the data. Kiran, every data that you saw in this presentation is public data. We have different algorithms that goes through various different sites collecting this data. Basically, it mimics different personas, it mimics different time zones, time of the day, and then looks for this data. So Nidhi says, can you brief on process of shelf management? So shelf management is as old as this entire shopping market thought. So when you go inside the shopping market, there are thousands of brands trying to get your attention. So how does one put things on a shopping market? You will see there are different shelves, and the different shelves will have different items. This essentially is shelf management. If I need a shelf, I am going to go to Carrefour. I'm going to say that I need a shelf. I'm going to pay X amount of money, whatever Carrefour charges. I put it up there. I design it the way my brand should look like. I put up the stock there. Now, I need to know whether in the Carrefour warehouse, the stock needs to be there. I need to keep a track on how many are being sold, how many things are being, how often are the users getting the things out of the warehouse and putting it on the shelf. I need to know how many items are available in the warehouse. Do I need to replenish it? So in an offline section, you will have distribution managers whose work is to look into all this. Does that answer? Okay, can you throw light on organizing shelf/space from customer point of view? Now, customer point of view is very interesting. Let's say I am going to buy floor cleaner. Earlier, my attention to floor cleaner was something that would have a brilliant smell. Yeah. Today, my attention is anything with antibacterial. Now, my perception has changed because of the media rhetoric, because of the news I'm reading, because of the information that I'm being thrown at. The same thing happens when an ad is released. How you are making users aware of your product, how you're showing importance of your product. Now, when you when as a customer, therefore, when you are looking for something, you might actually look for a brand directly. You might actually go directly to a brand. Now, if a brand is able to create that kind of influence over you, it has already done its job. The marketing has done its job. But if it has not, then what do? You put up a nice fancy looking stall, you put up small sampling units, and you tell people, why don't you sample this? This is free of charge. Now, as a consumer, now I was going to buy Dettol for my floor cleaner. Now I'm looking at something else. They're trying to change my perception. Now, if I like it, then I go and buy it. So that's how it is. It is a different. Does that answer? Okay. Next, I have Kiran asking me, Mfiltrate works on predictive analysis or just descriptive analysis? So it depends on what information is available to us. Right now, I cannot predict data that I don't have. For example, I can tell you how the search data looks like. Yeah. I cannot tell you how many are being sold in Amazon because Amazon will not share that data for me. The search data, I can look into crawl and I can tell you what's going on. Now, let's say I am integrated with your CRM and your CRM is passing me that data. Then I know what's going on there. Then I can give you a prediction saying that if your page analysis was 4th on Amazon in the last so many days, your CRM tells me it has sold 200 units. So if I take it to 3rd, maybe it will go more. Or if I can tell you that every Thursday, your stock status goes down, maybe you should try and replenish it on Wednesday. That is about the information that I get from you. Does that make sense? Sorry. Sorry, guys, I am. Okay, I am taking next question, Muhammad. Muhammad, I will send you a mail with all the details. I will do it today or maximum by tomorrow. Can you please share an email in case we need to contact you? Sure. Hassan, what future do you see in shelf management with VR capabilities? To be very honest with you, it's a long way out. For products which are fast moving goods, let's say right now what we do on websites is kind of the VR, because we are giving a 360-degree view, we are giving a close-up view, we are giving multiple images, we are writing everything up. Now, whether something we need to wear a glass and look at things, I don't know. I only know what is available. I am an analytics person. I sell what is given there, whatever is out there. So futuristic, yes, few things will become very important, especially in clothes as well as in cosmetic. A lot of people are doing a lot of things, but let's see. Not just going digital, but virtual given the aftermath of long-term COVID. See, again, it is important. It is important no matter what tomorrow for example, cosmetics. Sephora in UK did this entire VR thing about having your picture taken. Then you can see what shades go on your face, what skin tone to what makeup that you need. It was an amazing experiment. It did really well. It is still on, and a lot of people are doing it. Yes. Is that the future? Yes, definitely. But when it comes to clothes, some places are doing a great job. Some of them are not. Every day you listen to this new tech that has come up. Whether it will be used very soon here, maybe Dubai or Middle East, actually, they use tech a lot. So let's see what the future brings. So you are asking if shelf management capability will change based on VR. Now let's say what is shelf management? VR is just going to be another part of the content. It is not going to change the shelf. You still have to come up there. You still have to rank on those pages. If let's say I am Unilever, and let's say I'm L'Oreal and I am doing nail paints, and my red color is doing much better than a beige. Now I need to have those information from the shelf. Based on what is this happening? Is it because of my target segment? So all that information will still come from shelf management. All that VR is going to do is add a new section of content on the shelf. That's it. Adil is asking me, do you or your company have experience with publishing books, e-commerce, fulfillment? So no, we are a tech company. We don't do direct sales. We help analyze big data. We help understand what data can do for you. We help in decision making. Personally, I do have a lot of experience in doing Amazon fulfillment or any other, because I did a small business of my own some time back. I failed miserably. No shame in saying that. I did try and I failed. But yes, I do have some experience. And these 5 pillars that I'm talking about so passionately is also because I know how much they matter. Does that answer? Any other questions? If not, we'll end the session now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining in. You can get in touch with me on LinkedIn. I am available, anything that you want. I look forward to working with you. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Thanks. Bye.